Let me show you the difference between a promise and a result. At the recent sauna, the room sounds like the future has already arrived. Lower taxes, cheaper electricity, better healthcare, and more jobs. But outside the room, the real question is simpler. Did anything actually change yet? Because in investing and in life, headlines are not the same as results. Here's the way I look at it. Every big government project falls into one of three buckets: a law, a bill, and a wish. A law is already real, a bill is still waiting, and the wish, it's just noise for now. That test matters because people hear a big announcement and assume the benefits are already in their pockets, and they're not. Take the tax law, for example. If the income tax floor really moves up from 250,000 pesos to 350,000 pesos, that could mean real savings for real families. Maybe up to 15,000 pesos a year for one working parent. Maybe up to 30,000 for two. That's meaningful money, but it's not instant. Congress still needs to pass it. The president still has to sign it. The rules still have to be written. So even if it happens, it probably doesn't hit paychecks right away. Now take electricity for example. So one of the loudest ideas is removing the system's loss charge from our electricity bills. That sounds simple, right? People hear that and think, great, lower electricity bills. But power is never that clean. Systems loss is not just someone quietly taking money. It's part of how the electricity grid works. If that charge disappears, the cost doesn't vanish. It just moves somewhere else. And that's where the real story begins. Because once you ask who absorbs the cost, the picture changes. Not every power utility is in the same position. Meralco, for example, has a dense network and a relatively modern setup. Rural electricity cooperatives are often carrying older lines, longer distances, and higher losses. So if the rules change, the pain doesn't hit everyone equally. That's why this is not just a consumer story, it's actually a market story. And that brings me to Meralco. The stocks tumbled about 20-25% from the peak. The real question to ask is, did the market overreact? Or did it correctly price in a risk that investors are still underestimating? This is what makes this interesting because if the proposal gets softened, delayed, or changed in Congress, then the sell off may have been too aggressive. But if the policy really goes through in a way that squeezes margins or shifts the costs, then the market may still be underpricing the pressure. That's the difference between value and the trap. And that's why I'm watching this one very closely. Now let's zoom out for a second because this isn't just about Meralco. It's about how you read the government promises in general. You don't need to ask, did they say it? You could ask, for me, is it a law, a bill, or a wish? When does it actually reach the wallet? And who pays when the cost moves? That's the framework. Simple enough for a teenager, serious enough for an investor, and useful enough for anyone trying to separate politics from the economics. So, if you want the full Meralco angle breakdown, read the next issue of Value versus Trap coming out uh, this coming week, where I write closely into the numbers, look at the market setup, and the real tension between the sell off. Is Meralco a value opportunity or a trap? Read it and decide for yourself. Coming out soon.